Welcome back, everyone. Ready for another deep dive? Today, we're heading to Petra in Jordan, to this ancient city, well, carved right into those incredible sandstone cliffs. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site and, one of the new seven wonders of the world, and for good reason.
Oh, absolutely. It's remarkable. Petra was this hub, this center for trade, for culture, for centuries, really.
Mm.
And its architecture, it's got this amazing blend of Eastern and those Hellenistic influences. People are still just captivated by it today.
And, right at the heart of it all, you have the Treasury. It's iconic. I mean, a lot of people might recognize it from Indiana Jones and The Last Crusade. But even putting Hollywood aside for a second, the Treasury's got this real-life mystery that's been puzzling archaeologists forever. What was it actually built for?
Yeah, the main theory, and it's been around a while, is that the Treasury, even though they call it that, was really a mausoleum. Architecturally, it's unbelievable. And here's the thing, for the longest time, nobody could find any skeletons in the main structure itself to actually back that theory up.
And that's where this deep dive gets really interesting, right? They've made these incredible discoveries recently using that ground-penetrating radar, which, to put it simply, lets archaeologists see underground without having to dig.
Yeah, exactly.
So what did they find?
Well, they found a hidden chamber, and it's right under the Treasury. But here's the really cool part. They found matching structural features on both sides of the monument. So it's like they planned this symmetry, this deliberate design from the get-go.
It wasn't just some random chamber then. It was meant to be there all along.
Exactly. And get this actually adds to what they found back in 2003. They found two tombs under the left side then. But this new discovery, this is on the right side. So it just adds this whole other layer to the puzzle.
Okay, so now it gets even better. This team, they were actually filming with, Expedition Unknown when they made the discovery.
It's not every day you find a tomb that's still intact, especially somewhere like Petra. Think about how many people have been through there.
Yeah, it's like going back in time, like getting to see the past without anything being touched. So what did they actually find in this chamber?
Okay, so inside, at least 12 complete skeletons, and then all these artifacts, bronze, iron, even ceramics. And this is why it's such a big deal. Most of the tombs in Petra, they've either been robbed, messed up over the centuries, you name it. So for archaeologists, their picture of Nabataean burial practices, it's always been incomplete. But this intact burial, it's like a clean window into their rituals, their beliefs, the whole thing.
It's amazing. Every little detail just makes this whole thing even more fascinating.
It really is something. I mean, for centuries, you got people going through Petra, taking shelter, maybe some just curious, who knows. But the point is, they left their mark. Finding a tomb like this, untouched, it's like a time capsule, perfectly preserved.
It really puts into perspective how rare a find this is. So with all this new stuff, what are archaeologists most interested in? I mean, with these skeletons, these artifacts, what do they want to know?
Well, the big one, of course, is who are these people? Buried in such an important spot, right? Were they important themselves? Royalty, maybe? Or did they have some other big role in Nabataean society?
It's like a history mystery. We've got the burial site, we've got the stuff they were buried with, but no names.
Right. And here's the thing about the Nabataeans. They didn't see social hierarchy quite the same way other cultures did.
How so?
Well, sure, they had their rulers, their elite, but there's evidence suggesting they were more egalitarian than others. Like, even their kings. There are signs they were more in touch with the everyday people than you might expect.
Interesting. So it's not as easy as saying fancy burial must be royalty then.
Exactly. And for archaeologists, this is where it gets really cool. The artifacts are amazing, don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
but the real treasure trove, it's the skeletons.
You mean like DNA analysis and all that?
Exactly. By looking at their DNA, archaeologists, they're hoping to find family ties within the tomb. Were they related? Family tomb? Or were these people chosen for different reasons? Maybe what they did for society, their religious roles, who knows?
It's kind of mind-blowing that we might get a family tree, even a little branch of one, going that far back. Are there other scientific methods they're using to figure this tomb out?
Oh, absolutely. They're also dating everything, the skeletons, the artifacts. If they can pin down a solid timeline for the burial, it'll give them a much better understanding of the historical context, when these folks lived and died. And by examining the skeletons themselves, they're hoping to find out about their diet, their health, even what might have killed them.
It's like a giant puzzle, isn't it? Each piece of information gets us closer to understanding these people, their lives, and their deaths.
That's what archaeology is all about. Discovering, but also constantly reinterpreting what we know with every new piece of the puzzle.
It's really amazing, when you think about how one discovery can lead to so many new avenues of research. It could even change what we thought we knew about a whole civilization.
That's the thing about archaeology. It's not just about digging up the past. It's about looking at it in a new way every time we find something new.
Yeah, and we've been talking a lot about the who and the how of this tomb, but I think there's a bigger question here, the why.
You're right. It's not enough to just put names to these skeletons. We need to understand why they were buried so carefully and in such an important location. Why? Right there, beneath Petra's grand entrance.
So it's more than just their status then. There's something deeper at play.
Exactly. What if, and just think about this, what if the people buried under the Treasury, this architectural masterpiece, what if they weren't chosen for who they were in life, but for what they symbolized to the Nabataeans?
Wow. So it's like they're guardians of the city's history, there to preserve its story and meaning.
Right. Their placement right at the entrance to Petra, it could be a message, something meant to last, a testament to their ingenuity, their strength, even their beliefs.
This whole deep dive, it's been eye-opening. We started with this hidden tomb, and now we're questioning everything we thought we knew about this ancient society. It really shows you the power of archaeology. It's not just about finding objects, it's about finding stories, beliefs, the core of what makes us human.
And that's what makes this such a powerful discovery. It's not just about these individuals, but what their burial tells us about an entire civilization, their values, their struggles, everything.
It really gets you thinking, what other secrets are still hidden out there, just waiting to be found?
Right.
What will they tell us about who we are, where we came from?
That's the beauty of it all, isn't it? We never stop searching for knowledge. There's always more to find, more to learn, and every time we discover something new, it changes how we see the past, maybe even ourselves. Just a little bit.
This deep dive into the Kazna, it reminds us that the past is never truly gone. It's there, waiting to be rediscovered. And sometimes it's the things hidden just out of sight that have the most amazing stories to tell.
That's very true. Who knows what other mysteries are waiting to be unearthed? That's what makes exploration so exciting. The journey has no end.
A huge thank you to all of you for joining us on this incredible deep dive. Until next time, keep exploring and keep those questions coming. You never know what you might find.